it up for Lou Novak! Sounded like the looing of cattle. Anyway, it may surprise you, but I have not always been great with the ladies. Yeah, no surprises. Anyway, in high school, I didn't even go to my prom. I was, nice, which was fatal at that age. So I kind of inadvertently orchestrated my life to not confront that problem. I went to the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, where the ratio of guys to girls was 10 to 1. So I could easily avoid females. And as a midshipman in the Merchant Marine Academy, you would tend to avoid commissioned officers because they rarely could help you. They could often hurt you. Now, in order to graduate from the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, you had to spend a year at sea. And in order to go to sea, you, among other things, you had to pass a swim test, and you had to pass a life-saving test. You had to take classes in that. And at the Merchant Marine Academy, we had 2 instructors. We had Commander Brown, a 6'4" Jamaican, about 240 pounds of muscle. And we had Lieutenant Sue Peterson. Now, Lieutenant Sue Peterson was a statuesque Scandinavian woman. She had long blonde hair when it was down, and blue eyes. And at that time in my life, pretty much my fantasy. So she managed to draw my class for both swimming and life-saving. Now, Lieutenant Peterson, she insisted that we wear our issue swimwear, which were Speedos with the school colors. Yeah. I don't know if you know Speedos, but they barely cover anything, and they're ridiculous looking. We called them banana hammocks. And if, you are like teenage boys, so if anything unexpected happened, they did not cover everything. So, Lieutenant Pearson, I think she enjoyed the fact that we had to wear Speedos. She got to wear one of those really cool red one-pieces, and like she walked right off of Baywatch. But we had these things. So, I managed to, I thought, successfully avoid her attention during swim class and then in life-saving. And it was time to pass the life-saving final exam, which is the rescue. So we had our choices. We can choose Commander Brown, or we can volunteer to save Lieutenant Peterson. Well, I was going to avoid touching Lieutenant Peterson, and I said, I'll take Commander Brown, who was a fighter. The line was short to save him, and so it was after a few minutes, I was at the front of the line, and I hear from across the pool, Lieutenant Peterson. She said, Lou, I want Lou to save me. I don't even know how she knew my name. All I know is I've never in my life heard a woman say, Lou, I want Lou. And that was like turning the key to the ignition of a whole other motor in my mind. But orders were orders, and Lieutenant Peterson said I had to rescue her. So I dove in and swam over to her. And I got within the requisite 10 feet. I did my surface dive. I was down at her ankles, and I was working my hands up her ankles, up her calves, and you know that motor that I mentioned? Well, I have gears. And as I worked my way past her thighs to her hips in order to rotate her, I was definitely in about 4th. I to rotate her, but in a fashion that wouldn't alert her to my condition. I put her on my hip, and then I had to put her into the cross chest. And I was definitely in 5th gear at that point. And so I was swimming her over to the side, and she tapped me, and she said, you know, you're done. You made the rescue. You're good. You passed. I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am. So I let her go, and I swim over to the side looking for some cold jet. But I couldn't find any. I was working my way down the wall towards the corner where there was a ladder, and she was looking at me, and I was like, and she said, you know you can get out. You're no. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I will. And, my classmates were chuckling. They knew exactly what the problem was. And I was really thinking hard about calculus problems. I hadn't started doing taxes yet, so which was another solution. But clearly that my strategy of avoiding needed to be refined. But nonetheless, I was able to eventually get out of that pool. But I think I'm better off now because over 30 years later, I am a certified Red Cross lifeguard instructor, and I get to be the Commander Brown for actually dozens of young ladies, and we have never had an incident.